Am I the asshole for stealing my sister's in-laws? I always thought my sister and I had a decently close relationship until a few years ago when it came out that she thought of me as a golden child. She held resentment towards me for things I just looked at as the typical more lax treatment of the younger child in a family. I honestly thought the whole thing was pretty silly, especially since we were both years out of being under our parents' roof at this point, so we went a while without talking. We saw each other at family events but didn't really speak. I was invited to her engagement party as a form of an olive branch extension. It was there I met her future husband's younger brother, and we immediately got along. The two of us got to know each other and spent about a year as friends before making things official around a month before my sister's wedding. I love his family so much. His parents are warm and inviting in a way that feels so genuine, even before I was introduced as a significant other. Not to knock my parents, but with them being lawyers and working politically adjacent careers, it can be easy to become jaded when you watch them schmooze to people's faces even when that doesn't reflect their true feelings. I was the first person he ever brought home to meet them and they made me feel like part of the family immediately. Their youngest brother has been equally as welcoming and regularly schools me in Overwatch 2 by staying alive far longer than I ever could. When I told my sister this, thinking it was something we could bond over, she was angry again. Apparently she didn't receive the same treatment. This resulted in a big argument which led to her saying something to the effect of "I guess this is what happens when two golden children get together." I pushed back against this, and it further devolved with her pointing out that out of all the people in the world, she couldn't believe I had chosen her husband's brother. She said I had stolen opportunities from her growing up and now I was stealing her in-laws. I considered telling my partner's parents about this at one point to let them know the animosity my sister apparently holds towards them, but I decided against it. I don't really know where I stand in this conflict and at this point I'd just like some outside perspective. Am I the asshole? Not TA for falling in love and having a good relationship with his family. TA if you tell your in-laws about your sister's feelings. Do you have a history of telling on your sister to make her look bad? You're the asshole. Why would you tell on your sister to her in-laws? That is super weird. I honestly thought the whole thing was pretty silly, especially since we were both years out of being under our parents' roof at this point, so we went a while without talking. Most golden children don't realize they are golden children. You admitted your parents were more lax with you. Also, it's really immature that you're going to go behind her back and tell on her. Sounds to me like you are the golden child and you don't want to admit the favoritism cause you like it. You're the asshole. By your own description you were the golden child, and since your first response is to tattle like a 5-year-old, I am guessing that this has been a lifelong pattern. You tattle on your older sister, she gets in trouble and get to gleefully carry on. You're the asshole. You are very dismissive of your sister's feelings and experiences. Telling your partner's parents about this would be a super low thing to do. Honestly wish we could get the sister's side of the story. You're the asshole. It's very telling that your first instinct is to tattle on your sister. You're the asshole. When I told my sister this, thinking it was something we could bond over. Did you think this was going to be any sort of a bonding experience? What exactly are you trying to accomplish here? How your parents and future in-laws act is not your fault. But you've dismissed her feelings as silly, which is totally on you. You could try being her ally and see how that goes. You're the asshole. Everything about what you've written screams I need attention. You fell in love, great, you announce it a month before her wedding. Totally unnecessary. You may or may not be a golden child, but you are the proverbial baby of the family and seem like someone who can't function unless they are the center of attention. I can't wait to see what you do next. Announce your engagement at her baby shower, maybe. The purchase of a new home at their child's first birthday. You're the asshole. Subconsciously you are trying to upstage your sister, you just don't see it. I considered telling my partner's parents about this at one point to let them know the animosity my sister apparently holds towards them, but I decided against it. Your first instinct was to tell on her. You're the asshole. God, even making your relationship with her brother-in-law official a month before her wedding when you'd been friends keeping in quiet for so long seems almost deliberate to pull focus on you. You're the asshole. I can tell from your post that you are at least part of the problem here. Why would you ever even think to interfere with her relationship with her in-laws? You sound like a goody two-shoes who likes to snitch to make themselves look better. I feel bad for your sister because she can't apparently have anything for herself. She's not going to get a chance for these people to accept her because you're already there acting like the perfect son-in-law. Edited misgendered op. Oldest daughters often experience parentification and it negatively affects us for years if not the rest of our lives. The fact you shrugged it off without seeming to care at all about her feelings was enough for me to know where this was going. You're the asshole. Not for dating him. Just for the way you don't give a shit about your sister. You even said in a comment that you're only focused on you. It's selfish. To have healthy relationships with others, you can't only be focused on you. You're the asshole. This post didn't go the way you planned, huh? I considered telling my partner's parents about this at one point to let them know the animosity my sister apparently holds towards them, but I decided against it. X200B. Wow. You're the asshole, you're the asshole, you're the asshole. Dude, you are over 20 and you are both adults. I really despise people who involve their parents in their fights with siblings or even spouses. You are not children anymore and mom and dad cannot solve your problems for you. What are they going to do? Put her in a timeout? Punish her? You are the golden child. If I were you, I would stop trying to outshine your sister. Let her shine for once in her life. You're the asshole, how old are you? You're going to tattle on your sister to parents. Do you know you're proving that you are the golden child and acting incredibly entitled? I can't believe you were thinking about telling them how your sister feels. Have you been doing that kind of thing her entire life? You can't help who you fall in love with, but I'd encourage you to examine some of what your sister is talking about. You're the asshole for even considering telling the in-laws about the conversation. If that's what you did as children. Tell on her when you thought she was bad. No wonder you two have issues. Your initial instinct was to sabotage your sister's relationship with her actual in-laws. You sound like a truly awful spoiled brat. No wonder she feels the way she does. AITA, why would you tell your in-laws unless you do want to be seen as the best one? Let your sister have feelings. You don't have to break up with your BF, but the fact you immediately want to tell on her when she hasn't done anything is concerning. Just the way you talk about her being upset about your childhood shows the type of person you are. You're giving off golden child vibes. YWBTA for telling your in-laws. What would that achieve other than making your sister's life harder? ESH in general. It isn't your fault that your in-laws like you, but you are so dismissive of your sister's experience that it's hard to judge. You're the asshole. Even from what little you wrote, it does seem like you were the golden child. How about you look at it from her view instead of telling on her? Most golden child don't realize that's what they were. You want to tell on her to her in-laws. That's your first reaction. You're the asshole. You're the asshole. Out of all the people in the world, you had to choose this one? You didn't know better. Info: why was sister not welcomed into family? Just like the baby of the family to want to go whining to mom and dad. You're the asshole for not having any self-awareness. Keep your mouth shut and enjoy their company. You're the asshole and sound insufferable. Sure seem to have pulled the wool over people's